Guys, like, comment, subscribe, share this video, especially if you love college football as much as I do. This Penn State game and with Ohio State, one of the biggest games in the Big Ten. Obviously, one of the big games of the year in college football in general. Excuse me. Let's look at some stats, shall we? Ohio State has put up 36 points a game, and they've only given up 10 points a game. That's pretty darn good defensively. And even as a Michigan fan, where's my Michigan jersey? Right here. I will admit Ohio State has gotten a lot better on that side of the ball defensively. Offensively, still pretty good. They're not as explosive as they were a year ago, but still pretty good. They're not a team that turns the ball over. They're really good at converting third down offensively. They're pretty good at scoring touchdowns. That's a really good football team right there, Ohio State. Definitely deserving to be in the top 5 somewhere, at least, right? And now let's look at Penn State. Penn State scores 44 points a game, and they've only given up 8 points a game. Ohio State's defense, while it has improved, something really stood out to me about Ohio State's offense. Their offense, their rushing attack. Let's look at these numbers, some of these numbers that I saw. They ran for 126 against Notre Dame, and one of them was a 70-something yard touchdown run that Travion Henderson had. 62 yards, 143 yards. Not mind-blowing numbers. That tells me that they have some kind of balance, though, between the running and the passing game. Penn State, on the other hand, runs for over 200-something yards per game. And their defense has forced 13 turnovers. Ugh. And their rushing defense doesn't even give up 70, 80 yards a game. That's scary. Now, I understand Penn State has not faced an Ohio State offense, but I still think that's bad news for Ohio State. Penn State's a very tough team at the line of scrimmage. They're very powerful. They got athletic guys on that defensive front. Their defense as a whole is just outstanding. 8 points a game. That's ridiculous. They've shut out 2 teams, including Iowa. And Iowa's undefeated outside that Penn State game. Did y'all know that? They're 5-1, so they're doing pretty darn good. Without McNamara. Cade McNamara, whatever his name is. Shout out to him. I hope he's okay. He gets better soon. I was going back and forth on this game. I have to go with Penn State, and I'll tell you why. Penn State's defense has forced 13 turnovers. Colin McCoy, while he has only had 1 interception all year, he still hasn't really impressed me with throwing the football in terms of a C.J. Stroud. I think Ohio State is going to get stuck. And here's the thing. They've been stopped on downs a few times also. Again, in the Notre Dame game. Penn State's also physical at the line of scrimmage. I think it's going to go down to whoever can stop whose run game the best, because Drew Allar is a great quarterback for Penn State too. I have Penn State winning 35-23. Ohio State is not going to win the line of scrimmage all 4 quarters. I do think they'll manage Penn State's rushing attack for the first half, maybe early third quarter. But that defense for Ohio State's going to get tired. They're going to get pushed around. And think about it. Notre Dame was down 10-0 at one point to Ohio State. You know how they came back? Not through the air, on the ground, pushing them around. That's not good. Penn State runs the ball better than Notre Dame does. Look it up. Notre Dame does not have anywhere near that success running the football, let alone passing the ball, putting up that many points on people. So I have to go with Penn State. I think Penn State's rushing attack will be a key factor in the third and fourth quarter. And I think Ohio State's offense is going to become one-dimensional. Again, Penn State's rush defense doesn't give up much of anything on the ground. So they're going to make Ohio State be one-dimensional. Ohio State does have a good kicker, but he's going to be held to a lot of field goals. That's how you have at least 2 touchdowns, 3 field goals. That's why I have the 23 points. Penn State's going to get a touchdown every time they score. They might have a field goal or something like that, but I think it's going to be 35-23. I think Penn State's the better team, in my opinion. They're a more complete team. Ohio State is, here's the thing, McCord is a good player, but he's not C.J. Stroud. He's still relatively young. And their running game is good, but it's not their offense. And the defense they're playing is a team that doesn't give up much of anything on the ground. So give me Penn State by at least 2 scores. Maybe 31-23 if Penn State gets stopped on downs or turns it over one time. But outside of that, Penn State should win this game.